Hello everyone and welcome to Barca News. It's January 10th, 2023 and it's reported that Memphis Depay could end up joining Atletico Madrid during this winter transfer market. Also, there's a rumor that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang could come back to Barcelona and the club are currently tracking Marcus Thuram. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. My name is Mo and we'll begin with the news that the Barcelona first team have officially landed in Saudi Arabia to participate in the Spanish Super Cup as Barcelona are set to play against Real Betis on Thursday in the Spanish Super Cup semi-final. And if Barcelona win that match, they're gonna play against the winner of the match between Real Madrid and Valencia in the Spanish Super Cup final, which will take place on Sunday, January the 15th. Now, Barcelona have released the name of the players that have traveled to Saudi Arabia to participate in the Spanish Super Cup. And these players are Marc Ter Stegen, Hector Bellerin, Ronald Araujo, Sergio Busquets, Ousmane Dembélé, Pedri, Robert Lewandowski, Ansu Fati, Ferran Torres, Iñaki Peña, Memphis Depay, Andreas Christensen, Marcos Alonso, Jordi Alba, Frank Kessie, Sergi Roberto, Frankie de Jong, Rafinha, Jules Koundé, Eric Garcia, Alejandro Valde, Gavi, Pablo Torre, and Arnau Tenas. Now, Robert Lewandowski has traveled with the team because even though he is serving a 3-match ban, those are La Liga matches, so he will be able to participate in the Spanish Super Cup, just like Ferran Torres, who received a red card in the match against Atletico de Madrid and will also be allowed to participate in the Super Cup. Now, speaking of Ferran Torres, it's being reported that he could receive up to a 3-match ban because of the physical altercation that he participated in with Atletico de Madrid's player Savic. And it's reported that Barcelona are preparing to appeal that punishment, not to appeal the entire red card because Ferran Torres did deserve to receive a red card for the physical altercation, but the appeal would be to reduce the punishment that Ferran Torres could end up receiving. Now, Gavi, of course, has also traveled with the team. And speaking of Gavi, his match against Atletico de Madrid marked his 50th appearance in the Spanish league. And when this Gavi has set a record by being the youngest player in the history of Barcelona to reach this figure. And he's also the second youngest player in the history of La Liga to reach that figure this century. Now, on to the news that it's been confirmed that Chelsea and Atletico de Madrid have agreed on the loan of Joao Felix to the Premier League club. Now, you might be asking, how is this related to Barcelona? Well, since Joao Felix will be leaving to Chelsea, Atletico de Madrid are now in the market to find a replacement for Joao Felix in the attacking line. And it seems that the Madrid-based club have chosen Memphis Depay to be Joao Felix's replacement. Now, even though there is no confirmation from the club or the player on whether they are in favor of this move, this could be a move that favors both parties. Because as you might recall, Memphis Depay was considering staying until the end of the season in Barcelona, which is when his contract will expire, so he can then choose whichever club he wants to go to. And Barcelona were considering that if Memphis Depay does end up leaving in the winter transfer market, that they wanted to make some kind of money off his transfer. And if Memphis Depay does end up leaving to Atletico de Madrid on loan for the rest of the season, then he would be free at the end of the season to choose whichever club he wants to go to. And in the case of Barcelona, they would be able to make a loan fee, so they would be able to cash in on some of the players' value. Now, this possible move, of course, has not been confirmed by the club or the player, so we have yet to see whether Memphis Depay will end up leaving to Atletico de Madrid or whether he's going to end up staying at the club until the end of the season, which is when his contract expires. Now, the move of Joao Felix to Chelsea has been accelerated because Chelsea were in desperate move for an attacker, given that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has not been doing well at Chelsea and has not been getting much playing time. And as such, this news has given the rise to a rumor that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang could end up back in Barcelona. Now, social media are currently reporting that since Joao Felix is going to go to Chelsea to replace Aubameyang, and Memphis Depay could end up going to Atletico Madrid to replace Joao Felix, then Barcelona would need a replacement for Memphis Depay, and that replacement could be Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, I'm here to tell you that there's absolutely no truth to that rumor. Barcelona are not considering bringing Aubameyang back to the club because they consider his transfer as a done deal. After all, Aubameyang arrived in the club on a free transfer, and even though he did arrive with a low salary, In his contract, his salary was set to go up to 22 million euros during his second season, which is much higher than the strict payment scale that Jean Laporte has implemented, where no player can make more than 10 million euros. Now, with the transfer of Aubameyang, Barcelona made 12 million euros plus the signing of Marcos Alonso from Chelsea. And all of this is pure profit for Barcelona since Aubameyang did arrive for free. And Barcelona were also able to remove Aubameyang's very high salary off their books. So they consider as the Aubameyang transaction as being completely done. And as such, they're not considering is bringing Aubameyang back to the club. Now also, with the departure of Depay from Barcelona, the club would still need for another player to leave, such as Hector Bellerin, for them to be able to sign any new players in the winter transfer market. And even if Barcelona did have enough space on their wage bill to sign a new player, they would be looking to sign a younger player to be Lewandowski's substitute and to learn from the Polish striker, not to bring someone as old as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. So there's absolutely no truth or veracity to the rumor that Aubameyang could end up being back at Barcelona. Now, speaking of Hector Bellerin, as I reported previously, Barcelona were hoping to offload him during the winter transfer market so they can cash in on his transfer. However, the player has decided to stay until the end of the season, which is when his contract will expire. And it's expected that he could end up at Real Betis, which was his original goal this past summer. But Real Betis were unable to sign him because they couldn't clear enough space on their wage bill, since the Sevilla-based club are undergoing some difficult financial situation. Well, it's now being reported that the exit of Hector Bellerin could be accelerated because it seems that Aston Villa are very interested in signing Real Betis' Alex Moreno. Now, Alex Moreno was set to leave this past summer to Aston Villa's rival Nottingham Forest. However, he rejected a 15 million euro offer and decided to stay at Real Betis. But this could be a different case with Aston Villa, and it's reported that Alex Moreno could be more in favor of going to Aston Villa to play under Unai Emery. Now, if Aston Villa do succeed signing Alex Moreno during this winter transfer market, then Real Betis could look to replace him with the signing of Hector Bellerin. And if this does happen, then Barcelona will be able to make some money off the transfer of Bellerin, who they're currently not counting on with any playing time. Now on to the news that Barcelona are currently tracking Marcus Thuram. Now Marcus Thuram is the son of the former Barcelona player Lilian Thuram, and he's a 25-year-old attacker who can play both as a left wing or as a center forward, and he's currently playing for the Bundesliga club Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now, Marcus Thuram's contract will expire at the end of the season, and it's reported that he doesn't want to renew his contract with his current club, and he has aspirations of playing with bigger clubs. And it's reported that Barcelona are considering signing him, but only if they can't sign Youssoufa Moukoko. Now, as I reported in yesterday's video, this could be a very decisive week for Moukoko, who will be having some talks with Borussia Dortmund in order to negotiate his contract extension. And if he doesn't renew his contract with Dortmund, then Barcelona will be ready to sign him in the summer, which is when he will become a free agent. Now, if Moukoko does end up deciding staying at Dortmund, then Barcelona are considering signing Marcus Thuram to be Robert Lewandowski's replacement. Now, Chelsea are also interested in signing Marcus Thuram, and Chelsea do have a leg up over Barcelona because they're reportedly willing to pay a transfer fee right now during this winter transfer market to take Marcus Thuram to London in the Premier League. Now on to the news that Dani Olmo is being linked once again with a possible signing with FC Barcelona. Now Dani Olmo is a 25-year-old attacker who currently plays for Leipzig, and he came up through the Barcelona Academy, and he has been linked several times with Barcelona. And in fact, Ronald Koeman had requested that the club sign Dani Olmo, but unfortunately, because of the difficult financial situation, Barcelona were unable to complete this signing. Now, Dani Olmo just gave a very interesting interview where he said that he really wants to go back to Spain to continue his career in the Spanish league. And he also spoke about his time at Barcelona and how many of his friends play at Barcelona. And after this interview, a lot of rumors began to swirl, linking him once again to FC Barcelona. While there is no confirmation that Barcelona are currently planning the signing of Dani Olmo, and in my opinion, this will be a very difficult operation for Barcelona to complete, because if Leipzig do decide to sell Dani Olmo, it would be for a very high transfer fee, which Barcelona will be unable to afford. And even if Dani Olmo does arrive in Barcelona as a free agent, Barcelona will still be not be able to afford him because of all the signing bonuses that his agent will request, which is very known for requesting. Now, Dani Olmo also wants to go to a club where he can be guaranteed a starting role. And this will also be very difficult at Barcelona because with the abundance of all the attackers and with the existence of several players on the squad with the same profile as Dani Olmo, who's someone who can play in the wing and as a center forward as well, such as Ferran Torres, then it's not likely that Dani Olmo could have a guaranteed starting role on the squad. Now, this doesn't mean that Barcelona are not going to entertain the idea of signing Dani Olmo in the future, but as it currently stands, Barcelona have no plans of signing Dani Olmo. Now, on to the news that a Catalan court has ordered Barcelona to pay 8.5 million euros to Mateus Fernandez. Now, Mateus Fernandez is a Brazilian player who was signed back in 2020 for 7 million euros plus 3 million euros in add-ons. And he was signed for 5 years with this huge expectation that he was the next big thing coming out of Brazil and that he could be the next Sergio Busquets. Well, like many Josep Maria Bartomeu signings, this signing did not work out. And in fact, Mateus Fernandez only played 17 minutes with the first team. And he was right away sent out on loan to Real Valladolid, followed by a termination of his contract in June of 2021. Well, Mateus Fernandez sued Barcelona in the Catalan court for unfair dismissal, requesting 4.5 million euros. And today, the Catalan court has agreed with the player and has ordered Barcelona to pay the player 8.5 million euros. Now, this is just one more disaster that Josep Maria Bartomeu has left us with, where he made this horrible signing that didn't work out, like many of his signings. And in fact, Mateus Fernandez is back in Brazil playing for a small club. And now the club are stuck paying the 8.5 million euros thanks to the many terrible decisions that Josep Maria Bartomeu did when he was president. Now we will end today's video with some good news, and that is that the Barcelona Femenine just defeated Osasuna 0-9 in the Copa de la Reina, which is the equivalent of the Copa del Rey. And with this victory, the Barcelona Femenine have now qualified to the quarterfinals of the Copa de la Reina. And they are continuing their absolute dominance in women's football because, as I reported previously, the Barcelona Femenine have already qualified to the quarterfinals of the Women's Champions League, and they are also completely undefeated in the Spanish League, having won every single match so far, and they're currently sitting at the top of the Women's Spanish League. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Pisca Barça.